Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects millions of people worldwide: strokes. Specifically, we're going to unravel the complex relationship between what we eat and our risk of having a stroke. The title of our video might have caught you off guard: fruit dangers. You're probably thinking, wait, aren't fruits supposed to be good for us? And you're absolutely right. But like many things in nutrition, the story is more nuanced. We'll explore how fruits can be our greatest allies in stroke prevention, but also touch upon some common dietary pitfalls, some of which might surprise you, that can work against us. So, stick around as we separate fact from fiction and empower you with the knowledge to make heart-healthy and brain-healthy choices. Let's start with the big picture. What is a stroke? Simply put, a stroke happens when the blood supply to part of your brain is interrupted or reduced, preventing brain tissue from getting the oxygen and nutrients it needs. Brain cells begin to die in minutes. This is why a stroke is a medical emergency, and prompt treatment is crucial. There are two main types: ischemic stroke, which is caused by a blockage in an artery, and hemorrhagic stroke, caused by a leaking or bursting blood vessel. Many factors contribute to stroke risk, including high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. And guess what connects all of these? You got it: our diet. Now, let's address the dangers of fruit. The truth is, for the vast majority of people, fruits are incredibly beneficial. The real danger lies not in the fruit itself, but in misunderstanding how to incorporate it into a balanced diet, or worse, replacing it with genuinely harmful foods. The idea that fruits are dangerous often comes from concerns about their sugar content. Yes, fruits contain natural sugars, primarily fructose. However, this sugar comes packaged with fiber, water, vitamins, and antioxidants. This package deal makes all the difference. The fiber slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, preventing the sharp spikes in blood sugar that you'd get from, say, a candy bar or a soda. This is vital because chronically high blood sugar and insulin resistance are significant risk factors for vascular damage, which can lead to a stroke. So, let's flip the script from dangers to defenders. The evidence is overwhelming. A diet rich in fruits and vegetables is one of your strongest defenses against stroke. Large-scale studies have consistently shown that people who eat the most fruits and veggies have a significantly lower risk. How much lower? Research suggests that a high intake can reduce your stroke risk by as much as 10%. That might not sound like a huge number, but when we're talking about a life-altering event like a stroke, a 10% reduction is a massive win. This benefit comes from the synergistic effect of all the good stuff in produce. The fiber helps manage cholesterol and blood pressure. The vitamins support overall vascular health, and the antioxidants fight inflammation and oxidative stress, which are key drivers of artery damage. Let's get more specific and talk about a superstar category: citrus fruits. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes are famous for their vitamin C content, but they have another secret weapon called flavonoids. Flavonoids are powerful plant compounds with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. One major study, which followed a large group of women over many years, found that those who consumed the highest amounts of flavonoids from citrus fruits had a notably lower risk of ischemic stroke, the most common type. These compounds are thought to improve blood vessel function and reduce the formation of blood clots. So, squeezing some lemon into your water, having an orange for a snack, or adding grapefruit to your breakfast salad isn't just refreshing. It's a strategic move for your brain's health. Another key player in the fruit and vegetable world is potassium. You might associate potassium with bananas, but it's abundant in many foods, including avocados, sweet potatoes, spinach, and yes, many fruits. Why is potassium so important? It plays a crucial role in balancing sodium levels in your body. This is where we start to see the interplay between different dietary components. Think of potassium and sodium as being on opposite ends of a seesaw, and maintaining balance is key for healthy blood pressure. When you consume enough potassium, it helps your body excrete excess sodium through urine, which in turn helps to relax the walls of your blood vessels. This process lowers blood pressure, a leading cause of strokes. High blood pressure puts constant strain on your arteries, making them more susceptible to damage and blockages. Therefore, eating potassium-rich foods is a natural and effective way to help keep your blood pressure in a healthy range and protect your arteries. Now that we've celebrated the heroes of our diet, let's talk about the villains. The first and most notorious is excessive salt, or sodium. The link between high salt intake and high blood pressure is rock solid. And as we just discussed, high blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for stroke. The statistics are stark. Consuming too much salt can increase your stroke risk by a staggering 25%. The challenge is that most of the salt we eat doesn't come from the salt shaker on our table. It's hidden in processed foods, restaurant meals, canned soups, cured meats, and even bread. It's crucial to become a label reader and be mindful of the sodium content in packaged foods. Opting for fresh, whole foods and seasoning your meals with herbs, spices, garlic, and citrus instead of salt is a powerful preventative strategy. Next up is a category of drinks that many people perceive as a healthier choice: artificially sweetened beverages. Diet sodas and other zero-sugar drinks have become incredibly popular. However, emerging research is raising some red flags. Several large observational studies have found a correlation between regular consumption of artificially sweetened drinks and an elevated risk of both heart attack and stroke. Now, correlation doesn't equal causation, and more research is needed to understand this link fully. But some theories suggest that these sweeteners might negatively affect our gut microbiome, our appetite regulation, and even our vascular health over time. They might trick our brains into craving more sweet things, leading to poor dietary choices overall. The safest and healthiest bet? Stick with water. Unsweetened tea and coffee in moderation are also great choices. Finally, we need to address two major culprits in the standard Western diet: trans fats and excessive meat consumption. Trans fats, often listed as partially hydrogenated oils on ingredient lists, are the worst type of fat for your health. They raise your bad LDL cholesterol, lower your good HDL cholesterol, and promote inflammation, a perfect storm for clogged arteries. While many countries have banned or restricted their use, they can still lurk in some processed baked goods, fried foods, and margarines. The advice here is simple: avoid them completely. Read labels diligently. When it comes to meat, especially red and processed meats like bacon, sausage, and deli meats, the issue is multifaceted. These foods are often high in saturated fat and sodium, both of which contribute to high blood pressure and cholesterol. The processing of meats also creates compounds that can increase inflammation and oxidative stress. Studies have shown that high consumption of red and processed meat is linked to a significantly higher risk of stroke. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to become a vegetarian or vegan, but it does mean that shifting the balance of your plate is a wise move. Try incorporating more plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, and tofu, and choose lean poultry or fish more often than red meat. So, to bring it all together, the idea of fruit dangers is largely a myth. The real danger is a diet that lacks fruit and is instead filled with processed foods, excessive salt, unhealthy fats, and sugary or artificially sweetened drinks. Your dietary pattern as a whole is what truly matters. Aim to fill your plate with a colorful variety of fruits and vegetables. Embrace potassium-rich foods like citrus, bananas, and leafy greens. Be a detective when it comes to sodium and trans fats in packaged foods. And consider reducing your intake of red and processed meats in favor of plant-based proteins or lean animal sources. Making these changes isn't about deprivation. It's about investing in a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life, free from the devastating impact of a stroke. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this information was helpful and clears up any confusion about the role of fruit in a healthy diet. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our future videos on health and nutrition. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What's one small change you plan to make to your diet after watching this? Stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one.